transition, sometimes you got to go on the road to do that. I guess part of that would be a bad schedule maker, i.e. me. So hopefully as we move forward, we'll be able to get a little bit more balance there, and certainly would like to get some of these games returned into our own gym. So for the time being, that's what it is. And ultimately, if you're going to win in this league, you got to be able to win on the road. And so being tested early, being tested often, I believe had a lot to do with our success in the middle of the season last year.
Now, college and from the community.
Well, from the college has been outstanding. We have great leadership in Dr. White, as well as our athletic director, Ozzy McFarland. And each year that I've been there, this is my 12th season, and when I got there, we were Division III. So during the transition to Division II, and then membership as a part of the CIAA, each year things have gotten better for us. And some of that has to do with facilities, some of that has to do with budgets, some of that has to do with enrollment, but all of those things continue to be on a positive direction. And certainly from that group, it's been great support all along, as well as the community. The community has really started to pick up once they understood what we were getting involved in, as well as the excitement and the history involved. And I think for some of our fans, it took a little while for them to understand, the complete history of this league and the opportunity that we have to be a part of such an outstanding league with a great tradition.
You have anything to add to that, or just dittos?
Yes, I'd just like to echo what he said, but the community's been great. I'm starting my fourth year. From my first year until this year, it's changed so much with the support as far as budgets and just the overall administration and the community. I have several good friends already in the community that support us. You get to see a good product when the CIAA team comes in. It's exciting.
What is the motto or the rallying cry? What is I guess the one-word statement for both teams that you tell them? It's win or champions, or what is the rallying cry that you guys are telling your team so they can be ready?
I really just, all I ask of our young men is to get better every day. We think if we do that and play for each other, that we've got a chance to have a nice ball club.
And for us, I think it's probably just a couple words very similar, but that's team and family, which are not necessarily always the same thing. If you think about it, we all have a family member that we probably wouldn't want on our team if we were trying to win a game. But as far as team and family, that's what's most important to us, and certainly what we hope will carry us through this year.
All right. What are your goals? Are we trying to just win the division? Are we going to win the conference? What? And that'd be my final question.
Certainly.
Where are we going for 2015, 2016?
We're going further than we went last year. Whatever that means, and that could be in a lot of different fronts. It could be a number of wins, could be finishing higher in the division to include a division title. But if you look at us over the last several years, we've gotten to Charlotte and not played particularly well. So I've got to figure that out and give our young ladies the best opportunity to have success when we get back to Charlotte in February.
Obviously, our goal would be to win the championship, as everybody's is. It's difficult to do. It's a challenge. Stay healthy, stay together. Like Coach said, as a family and a team. Hopefully this year we'll be able to win a championship. That's our ultimate goal.
Thank you, Coach Mashuda and Coach Vincent. Next, we will have Elizabeth City State University Coach LaQuanda Dawkins and Aliko Dunk. Good morning. So preseason is starting. How is your preseason looking for the men's team and women's team?
For us, everything is we're very excited.
So when you said that with all the adversity and your players knows what it takes to win, what exactly are the key factors that they need to take place to win?
Well, first and foremost, I think to win, you got to win off the court first. You got to take care of your business in the classroom. You got to take care of your business in the training room. It's important that you do all the little things. And I think it's just a direct carryover to the floor. And on the floor, we talk about every day that we play with energy, effort, and enthusiasm. And that's our motto: energy, effort, and enthusiasm. Attack every day with energy, effort, and enthusiasm.
This is a question for Coach Dalton. This is your first season. What are you planning on doing this year, and what are your expectations?
Within our first season is that what's most important to me right now is the opportunity of getting to know the young ladies that I have opportunity to work with. I think that's extremely important with the change that we have going into this coming year. The outlook that we have, we're just basically we're taking it one day at a time. Because that's typically what you have to do. The young ladies are just really dialed in right now and just working extremely hard, just like everyone else. Our expectations is we want to get to the tournament, and the young ladies has experienced that last year. They were there. They know what it feels like, and they're very hungry to get back. And that's the mentality that's what we're working for now. We're teaching them what it is, how it's to work hard every single day. In order to work hard, you got to be consistent with it. It's not you can't turn it on one day and be off the other day, another day. It's every single day that you have an opportunity to get out there and perfect your skill, and that's what we're doing right now.
J Bell with once again with HSRN. I had a chance to come down there a couple of years ago down Elizabeth City. First of all, you have an awesome support staff and a great gym. I mean, it's really nice. You know, in all my 20 years, I've only been there twice, so must say, very good. Now, when people come in, it's kind of a hostile environment. My question is, how are you going to continue that, you know, even while you're on the road, and how are you going to bring that forward to the tournament? You know, that energy that's at the campus, how are you going to carry that all the way through the rest of the season?
Well, I think going into every game, you got to have the mindset that you're going to get the W, and you do that by any means necessary. So it doesn't matter if we have a crowd behind us or not. We know what we came to do. We came to handle business.
Well, I mean, to jump on the bandwagon with Coach Dunk is that that's what we're going to teach our young ladies, that you always defend your home court. You never let anybody come in on your home court and come in and get a W. And so that's the same thing that we're going to look to do when we travel throughout the course of the year. We're going to respect our opponents, but we're not going to fear anybody. So that's that type of mentality that we're going to bring. We're going to come in. We're going to work hard. Same way we work hard at home, we have to have that same mentality when we travel and we're in somebody else's gym.
Now, with the changes, you know, state laws and all the things that's been going on in the area, since then, what progress have you guys seen with the new president, and what is the direction that the whole school is leading and going towards?
Well, I think we're headed in the right direction. Chancellor Jones is doing an excellent job rebranding the university. She supports the athletic staff tremendously. She's just been a blessing to us so far, and I'm looking forward to continue working with her.
I feel the same way. She's truly very active in our community there. She's really advertising the university. Like Coach Dunk said, she's a great supporter for our athletics department. She has a great dream, a vision, and the same thing, and it carries over to our athletic director as well. So with both of them working hand in hand, I really see a lot of success that is going to be in the future under their leadership at the university.
What are you telling your girls this season? What is the rallying cry, and what are your goals? That's for both of you guys.
What we're sharing with our girls this year is our motto is unfinished business. I think they're at a point experience what it feels like to go toward winning a championship. So that's particularly where we're working now. Our goals for the year is we just want to be the best that we can be every day, in every aspect. And it's not just with basketball; it's what we do in the classroom, what we do in our community, and what they do in their everyday life activities. So that's just kind of the goal for us going into this year, as far as some of the goals that we're looking for our women's basketball team.
Well, pretty much, ditto what Coach said, but our ultimate goal is to win the championship, as just like every other team in our league. But our motto is win today. Every day we want to do something. We want to do something great every day. When you get up in the morning to work out, you want to win today. We're looking to play up tempo. We want to play fast. We want to put pressure on the defensive end. Offensively, we want to attack the basket and shoot threes.
And last question, who will be you all's toughest matchup this season?
To be honest, I think everybody in the league is going to be a tough matchup. It's a very competitive conference. It's a conference where you have to bring your A game every single day. Of course, you have your usual people in the conference, past history, that's going to be known at the top. But I think everybody's going to be a competitor.
I agree. Everybody's a contender in our league. Every day you step out, you have to have your A game. If not, you're probably not going to win. So there's no days off in our league. So everybody's great.
Thank you, coaches, and have a good season.
Thank you.
Next up, we will have Fayetteville State University, Eva Patterson Heath, and Alfonso Key. Coaches, you both had pretty good seasons last year, and how are you going to make this season even better?
Well, I didn't have a really good season last year. We struggled. We were young in the backcourt. So this year we have a little bit more experience in the backcourt, and we're working to be competitive as always and to learn how to finish the game.
Well, we were knocking on the door, one game away from Saturday night in the tournament. So we think we're pretty good. We're trying to go from good to great. So we want to take those experiences from last year, this summer, learn from them, stay humble and hungry, and stay on path, but make one more step in our workouts, classroom preparation to get past that good phase, be on top.
Coach Heath, you've lost some strong players from last season. How is the rebuilding going with the chemistry with the new players and the returning?
Right. We lost a defensive player of the year, Deja Middleton, who was back-to-back defensive players of the year. And with that was our leading scorer and leading rebounder. So now everyone, especially from the guard spot, has to take up that responsibility of, again, being able to rebound. There were several games last year that we were in to the very end and just couldn't come up with that one last rebound that we needed to finish the game. So the responsibilities now are spread around. Everyone understands the importance of that particular aspect of the game, rebound.
Well, again, like I said, I think the last 2 years we've been around that cusp, semifinal game, back-to-back years, winning seasons, and had some accomplishment. We just want to continue to grow. It's an ongoing process. Like I said, good is a blessing, but do something a little different. I think it's a daily process in your preparation, in your recruiting, in your development, your teaching, to get past that next level. So we try to make sure every aspect of our program do a little bit more. In one increment, then it'll be a sum of the parts and hope to build that home.
Jay Bell with HSRN. Looking at stats from last year, I do remember, Coach Key, when you came up after, the Friday loss, you came and did some broadcasts with us, so we appreciate that. But to the point, how are you improving? Guys were good, but they kind of fell flat in their shooting percentage. I mean, they were good, but what are we doing to I guess, step the game up?
Well, we were one of the top scoring teams in the league last couple of years. We turned you over. So I think with pace, we're one of the best teams. I think the next phase for us is to be better playing slower. So when the game slows down, executing and scoring the ball in sets and half court around the basket. Because we shoot a lot of threes and play with the pace. But when the game slows down in the tournament, a lot of times you have to get not good shots, great shots. So we have to grow in executing in a half court set.
Coach Patterson, last year you joined us as well, so we appreciate it. But speaking of the three-point, stats show you only did like 28%. What's your game plan for your ladies? Because they were good, but for some reason they just couldn't get over mental mistakes, I would like to say.
Well, throughout the season last year, we had a couple of starters that left the team. So, and with their departure, we lost some of our three-point shooting attack. But we were able to, we had an inside presence with Deja Middleton and Bria Robinson. And so this year we certainly want to be able to expand the court. We want to be an inside-outside team, and being able to knock down that three is important in that respect.
What's your goals for starting the season off? What are you telling the team? What are you trying to accomplish for both of you guys?
Well, for us, our goal, of course, is to be better than we were last year and to be better at the guard spot. We've talked about the importance of on-ball defense, the importance of rebounding, the importance of being able to finish basketball games. So we want to be really competitive. We want to make sure that we take care of our home court and steal as many games as we can on the road. The CIAA is so competitive night in and night out. And so, we got to get those things done in order to be competitive.
Our first goal is to win game one. We like to make sure it's short compartmental goals. Overall, to sustain success we've had in reference to scoring the ball and pressing, but we want to grow in a half-court set. We want to be a better executing team when the game slows down. Sometimes we play well at one pace, but not as well as others. So be more dynamic offensively and grow at the small thing, take care of the basketball.
I'll start with Doreen Richardson. Yes, she is returning, and last year she played, she had a lot of the point guard responsibilities, but this year we're moving her to the off guard because we want to be able to use her speed and quickness in transition and then in her attack mode. And then it gives her an opportunity to be more the natural player that she is. And plus, she's a returning captain to the team, so we're looking forward to that leadership that she brings from that role. And as well, she's an excellent student.
Well, for Josh Dawson, had an outstanding summer, elite talent as a freshman. Led us on the floor. A lot of accolades, all-time assists games at Fayetteville State. Had a couple of 30-point games, 15 assists. From a basketball standpoint, this year my goal is for him to be a dynamic leader. He was a leader because of position when he got here, freshman, sophomore year. In time, but now he needs to be a full-time leader, doing a great job with that. And the team dynamics is a little different. A lot of new guys, a lot of new faces, so his role will be outside of the basketball leader on the court, off the floor, in the classroom, in the locker room. So looking for him to have a great year of leadership and that'll propel to an outstanding year on the floor.
Coaches, what will be your tactics to balance out academics and your players playing on the court?
Well, Fayetteville State has a new program that we just instituted this year. It's called Bronco Connect, and that's an opportunity for our student athletes to receive assistance from an academic advisor in making sure that they are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing in the classroom, because we can't get them on the court till they can get it done in the classroom. And our goal, of course, is as it is always, is to improve our GPA and to graduate student athletes.
Well, our focus has always been institution, academics, from leadership, past and present. Number one, our institution standards are high, being in our conference, and from recruiting the kids we bring in, so we don't just start when they're on campus. The young men we bring in, there has to be a must, a qualification that they take serious academics by their past grades, their future behavior. So that's consistent, and we don't separate them. They're all as one. We don't lean one way to another. Academics are first, and we got to the point where, almost basketball sometimes becomes second. So that's a culture of our institution, our department. And our number one goal is to change lives of graduate young men. So basketball, and make a decision in basketball, and academics can be basketball.
Thank you, coaches.
Thank you.
And that'll be all the questions. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Next up, we will have Stephen Joyner Jr. and Stephen Joyner Sr. from Johnson C. Smith University. Good morning. Good. For both the coach joiners, preseason is starting. How is you all's preseason looking this far?
Preseason's gotten off to a decent start. Coaches, us, we always say things can be better. We brought in 8 new players, so we will be fairly new and fairly old at the same time. But the young ladies are working hard at conditioning and lifting weights, study hall and things like that. So we're excited. We're excited. Coming off our best year at Smith so far, 20-win season, so we're looking to improve.
For the men, it's just a little bit of a contrast. We're coming off a year riddled with injuries. We still have a key injury to Alondre Davis. He's in the process of healing up. do have some veteran play on the campus in terms of our guards. That will be our strongest point. But we do have some liabilities in terms of size. So preseason is always a difficult time. It's a challenging time. Trying to get themselves back into their classes. They're anxious and ready to get started in terms of their preseason conditioning. And it's just a lot of things going on.
Joyner, you said you have new players coming in. How are you going to get your girls to come together and get the chemistry going to have a good season?
We've been doing some team bonding, something that I really haven't done since I've been a head coach. But our upperclassmen, our senior class, felt that it was very important that we do that early on. So we've been doing some things off the court so that they help to get to know one another, their backgrounds, exactly where they're coming from and where they are in life. And it also is kind of mixing up how we do workouts. It's not always post with post. We're doing post with the guards, rotating things like that. So a variety of things to get them to come together. But most importantly, it's just when we are together to work hard and to communicate.
Coach Joyner, senior. How you doing?
Good.
J-Bell, okay, quick question. First part is I came up there as an AD. Brother up when I came up there to do a game when y'all played Wingate.
I do have some contact, but I don't know if I can get you through. I can always try.
All right, I appreciate that. On that note, we're talking basketball. Last season, the Chowan University Bears came up there and walked away with a win. I mean, you guys sent them home on a loss, but then Shaw came up there and sent you guys right back up the street. This season, turnovers, and that was one of the things that, that we talked about on the network. How are you guys handling that with this season? Minimizing turnovers, pretty good on the scoring. What's the key to minimizing the least amount of turnovers?
Well, our liability seems to be around chemistry. So consistency is one that comes into play as well. We're certainly trying to focus in on that. I think our leadership on the team understands where we've been. Where have you been? Where are you now? Where are you trying to go? And I think we've answered two of those questions. So I think the leadership within our ranks know where we're trying to go and know what our liabilities are. So chemistry two is to try to heal up, continue to heal up, and be a little bit more of a healthy basketball team this year.
And for you, Coach, 4 out of 6 wins. You ended pretty good. How are you going to carry that on over to so that that you can play on the rest of the week?
I know that's right. That's definitely one of our goals. First year we left out of their first round. Next year we won a game in the first round, lost in the second round. This past year we were fortunate enough to finish second in the Southern Division and get a bye, but still met a very talented team in Livingstone. So second round has been our night to really beat them out. So our goal definitely this year is to again increase from 20 wins to try to get to 25, 26, and we feel if we get there, that means that we're playing on Saturday in the tournament and definitely looking at the NCAA, which is all of us. It's just preaching on building and being consistent with what the coach just said, and continue to instill in the young ladies some pride to build a culture within our program that will be passed down so that the expectation every year is to be there on Saturday night and to be a 20-win team, 25-win team every year. So it's just pushing them to be better and to be great young ladies.
Coach Joyner, Senior, Jason Brown, Time Warner Cable News.
Yes.
Good to see you, sir. You mentioned the injuries that you had to overcome last year and are still dealing with some here in the preseason. You also talked about your team chemistry. Those obstacles are difficult to overcome enough as it is. when you combine that with the portion of the CIAA, the division that you're in, does it become, even a steeper climb for you? I mean, I guess, how are you going to, combat those internal obstacles versus, a very competitive division?
Well, I think it's important to have a realistic perspective of where you are and where you're trying to go. And I think abounding on our campus within our team. Certainly, I think year in, year out, the Southern Division of the CIAA basketball has been just a tough division, and will be so by this particular year. Competitiveness, that part doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that if we can become the unit, the family that we're looking for, we can combat all those other things. I really think we're going to heal up. We're going to get better physically as we go through the year. I think by December, January, we'll be at our best. And certainly if we can focus in on those things, then the competitiveness of the CIAA will be able to handle.
Any last questions? What team are you all looking to match up the most this season?
I would say everybody. I'm excited this year to see what the women's side is going to turn out to be. Like Coach was just saying, the Southern Division has been the strong side for the women as well. But we've got some great young coaches, Coach Swan, Coach Darrell up there at Lincoln. We bring in a veteran in Virginia Union. So it's going to be exciting to see how the North turns it around this year. So I'm very excited to play everyone. Great coaches, great players. So I expect for it to be a great year.
Same on this end. I think that's the exciting part about basketball. It's the new coaches that are coming in, so you're going to have to learn their tendencies and their trends and their style. The old coaches that are there, the veteran coaches who are returning, what's new, what's different, what's the same. And so those are the things that you look forward to, and those learning experiences as you go through the particular year. But I don't think you can point to any one team. I just think all of them are going to be exciting CIAA matches.
Thank you, coaches, and that will end the media part for you all. Next up, we will have Livingstone College. We will have Coach Anita Hill and James Stinson. Howard. Okay, sorry about that. Good morning. Coach Howard, you had a great season last season, and dealing with all the adversity that happened, how are you all going to overcome and make the season 20 times better?
Last year was a test for us to win as many games as we did, and then how everything kind of unfolded at the end. Adversity builds character, and so I think the returners that return this season are even that much more motivated to continue on where we left off last year. So I don't think it was a little speed bump for us, but it's not going to break us. It didn't break us. So we'll come back stronger. We brought some new players in, and they're good pieces to our puzzle.
Coach Stinson, you all are back-to-back CIAA champions. Are you all looking to take the championship again this season?
We're looking to continue to build our program and to compete and stay humble and just realize what our goals are as far as the institution. So we want to compete each and every night. Losing the number of players we've lost, expectations maybe not as high as they have been in the past, but we'll be out there each day. Jay Bell with with HSRN. How y'all doing? First of all, Coach, we followed HSRN did follow you when we went to the tournament. Once again, awesome. And then we had a chance to come to the party afterwards. So it was a really good thing. Dr. Jenkins, everything first class. State Alexander, Dr. Alexander, everybody's cool. Quick question though. I know he's gone, but Hakeem Jackson, man, he was electrifying. He's gone now. How are you going to replace that?
You don't replace a player like Hakeem. We were fortunate enough that he came to Livingstone, made the decision. But what we have done is that we're going to have to play that position by committee. You're not going to be a team that's going to be able to replace him that fast and turn around. So we have some youth, very young, post play, and that's a part of coaching. We're going to have to try to develop the next Hakeem. Be difficult, but it'll be a tribute to what we're able to do, as our coaching staff.
Speaking of which, you did have some guys, I can't recall their names, but you did have some guys who didn't play who followed you. Can you just tell us who some of those new recruits that you brought in that weren't on the team last year, that are they on the team this year?
Yeah, we have Jared Gray, a young man that's out of Bowie, Maryland, tremendous shooter. We also have a kid by the name of Rodney Clowney, who's out of Baltimore. He didn't play for us last year. He was just finishing up, but he had his eyes set on us. He's going to be a slow developer. Along with, we're expecting big things out of Augustine Harris, who's right from Charlotte. He did play some. He played for the program West Charlotte High School, but he's going to have to take part in this development of our program in the youth.
New year, coming off, like you said, coming off an awesome year, but the end didn't kind of go the way we wanted. Great girls. You also had a set of new players that I noticed when I came to a couple of games. Who are the new kids on the block, and what can we expect from them?
We didn't have a lot to replace. We lost actually 5 players, but we brought back a whole lot from that team from last year. And so we brought a couple pieces in that I think will complement us well. We got a JUCO kid from Virginia and Brittany Taylor. She's going to be very strong for us. She's a very mentally tough player, and so I'm excited to get her on the court and coach her. And then we brought a bubbly freshman in from Georgia. She's a workhorse. So I'm very excited to see her play in open gym. The girls have been saying she's been phenomenal. So she comes in the office, she talks the game. And so those 2 pieces that I think we brought in will help us in our backcourt. And so I'm excited to see what they'll bring to the table.
Now, Coach, watching, for those who don't see you, you're a very quiet guy. How does that translate to keep all of those young men? Because those young men were some exciting guys. How do you take that, what you have, and keep them, all on the same page? Because what is your secret, man?
Well, you have to have the patience of Joe, dealing with some of our student athletes, and just your faith. I am a strong figurehead for them, and they know at any point in time you'll see the opposite side of the quiet coach Stinson. So, but we're going to be disciplined. We're going to be respectful, and we're going to be humble. Those are the things that I think that has helped to move this program. No one on that team is bigger than anyone else, and so they just learn to buy in. It's something my mother told me a long time ago, that either you change the people or change the people. So that's the thing that we kind of live by, and our kids have bought into it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, our non-conference schedule, I'm very pleased with. We have a very competitive non-conference schedule, which I like to do to get us ready for the CIAA conference play. We got some games at home, which we play very well at home. Our fans, the alumni that come out, the administration, they're there, and so being able to play so many games at home, I think will be very beneficial for this group. We got UNC Pembroke, played them last year, played them very that comes out, but he's a very strong coach, and he's going to have a very experienced group. We also play Catawba, which is kind of a down the street rival for us. It's not technically at home, but it is at home because they're right down the road, and so they're going to have a very strong program. And so we should fare well in the non-conference.
Didn't create it. It just fell that way. I think the atmosphere at Livingstone is conducive to, like some of the other CIAA schools, Braywood and Shaw and some of the other places. So people don't want to come in there. But you can't win a championship at home. We want to. You can't win one on the road. At home. It's going to be on the road. So our motto is that we just have to be able to play.
Coach Simpson, Jason Brown, Time Warner Cable News. When you win back-to-back conference championships, I imagine when you go out recruiting, it's a great selling point. You mentioned how young you guys are this year, but have you noticed that you've been able to lure or interest a quality athlete because and can come to a place like Salisbury because of your recent success?
Yes, I found it to be a little bit better, especially with me being a Charlatan and being a part of the public school system, that they are more apt to, look into Livingstone due to not only the success of men's basketball, but the program being moved, especially with our women's program also. So it's been a little open. We get a lot more calls than we have in the past.
Last question.
Preseason, if I recollection, you got Coach K this year. How does that work out? Is that on your schedule for this year for preseason?
Yes, it is.
What did you take from that last year, and what do you take for this year?
I actually took a whooping, but but what we really took is the environment and what it takes to play at that level. Sometimes we think that we're at that level as far as a team, but until you actually get into Cameron or some of the larger arenas, it's not just the arena itself, it's the physicality of the basketball game and the way the team is well prepared. So we as a coaching staff took a lot from that too.
Thank you, coaches. That will conclude Livingstone's media session. Next up, we will have St. Augustine University Coach Crump and Coach Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Coach Crump, you are the new head coach right now at St. Augustine University. What new changes are you going to bring to the table to make the season better?
One thing that I'll bring is just trying to focus on the detail, the small things of what we need to accomplish. Break down our goals more this year so that they can see the strides that they're making, so that can keep them motivated. So that's the first thing I'm going to start doing.
Coach Johnson, you have some returning players, but you also have a lot of new players that are coming this season. How are you going to build the chemistry on the court and off the court to have a good season?
Well, right now we've done a lot of team bonding activities. We're going to continue to do that, but also our returning players have done a good job of embracing the new guys. The new guys have done a good job of allowing, trying to fit in what our culture is all about as far as the discipline and desire that you have to have to play at this level. So for the most part, our guys are working pretty hard, staying together, and they're hanging out together a lot. So, I think that's a good sign. I don't know how well that's going to translate to the court, but for the most part, it's been pretty good.
You all have both lost a lot of key players from last season. Is there any key players this season that could take the spotlight?
I'm really counting on our seniors to step up another level with Shanika Harris, also with Lakaya Rouse, and also Shelby Stokes. Last year Shelby was
hindered a little bit with injury, so the league did not really see her as much. So I'm looking forward to her being healthy this year and helping and actually contributing. Our newcomers, I feel like they're going to make some strides, especially with Sequoia Dorsey. She has the speed of Portia Walton, and I'm counting on her to, come in and to replace her.
I think on my side, with our returners, we have 7 returning players. Anthony Gaskins, Winston J. Greer are 2 highlight guys that we're going to have. But we also have a few seniors that have been with me for the past 3 years. So therefore, they know what to expect. They know what to expect out of me. They have done a great job of leading this team so far.
With St. Augustine's University women's basketball team, they're always leading in academics. How are you going to keep that legacy going?
Yes, that is really our primary goal, to keep the history going with St. Augustine's receiving the highest academic award. And our girls know that. So we're going to really focus in on their study hall hours, making sure that we're staying engaged and forming relationships with the professors, making sure that if there's any need or any slight change in their grades, that they're receiving tutors immediately. So that is something that's really definitely a goal for me to accomplish this year.
And Coach Johnson, how are you going to lead your team in high academics as well?
Well, right now we're short that we came in second last year as far as academics. So this year our goal is to be number 1. And we're doing study hall 3 times a week at nighttime. So I think for the most part our guys are taking it pretty serious. They're really doing well in that class.
Hi, I have a question for both of you. Both of you from Wake County area, and how does that help as far as bringing visibility to both the men's and women's programs in our area?
Because I'm a Raleigh native, a lot of the high school coaches know me because I played at Sanderson High School. So it's just continue that relationship and inviting them into our programs and into the games and just with the community, just making sure that they feel welcome and just continue to grow that.
And piggyback on what Coach Crawford just discussed, with us being from Raleigh, being from the area, I think it's a bonus for us with the high school coaches, not just those coaches, but also the community at home. I think we do have a few connections, a lot of connections around town that could definitely help us not only on the court, but also as far as being able to get internships for our players, or possibly after they graduate, being able to find a job where they can be successful in life.
J-Bell with HSRN. How you guys doing? Hopefully y'all doing well. Looking at last year, it was kind of tough, but December was great. Both of you, so outstanding. So congratulations. What are we going to do to continue that so that we won't have the up and down season at St. Augustine's University? I mean, because the campus is beautiful. I live in Raleigh, so I know a little bit about St. Aug. What are we going to do to step the game up to not have an up and down January, up and down February?
I think with the Lady Falcons, it's about motivation, and it's about trying to keep your student athletes stimulated and continue to be hungry for the end prize, which is making it to the conference tournament and the championship. So we're going to work small, like I said. We're going to focus on the details and set goals, keep them motivated with that. And I hope with that will propel them to be consistent on the floor and be consistent with keeping us rising rather than having the roller coaster season that we've had in the past.
One thing about on our side, I think if you look at every team, once you start conference play in January, it's real competitive, real tough.
On the latter side, you have a sports information director. What do you have to say about him? Is he doing a good job?
Anthony Jeffries is the best. I feel that. I mean, he does everything, goes over and beyond. And we are, I was just talking to someone about it, about him outside, about how great he is and how we really appreciate him on our staff. With so many changes going on, it's really good to see someone that has his feet in the ground and he's rooted, and we appreciate so much of him.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Coach Mr. Jeffries is great. You know, I've known Anthony for a long time, even before he was sports information director. So, you know, I see him in a different light. One thing I do say about Anthony, he always is communicating with coaches about what we think about what he's trying to set out, what story he wants to come up with. He's always communicating. So I think that's a great job.
Any more questions? That will conclude St. Augustine University media session. Thank you.
You weren't expecting that.
Oh, about. Shaw University. Next up, we have Shaw University, Coach Curtis and Coach Hopkins. Never mind. Next up, we have Virginia State University, Coach Hill and Coach Blow. Coach Hill, CIAA champions last year and had a good season. How are you preparing your women to have the same season or even better?
Well, they understand that last season is over with. We got to get focused now on a new season. So, the goal is always the same, to be there on Saturday night.
And Coach Blow, how are you preparing your men for the preseason to get ready for regular season?
Our guys are working hard, lifting weights, conditioning, trying to get their body prepared for the upcoming season. And, we're excited about the guys we have, and we think they're doing an outstanding job, and can't wait to get going.
And for both coaches, playing on the court, how are you all getting your team chemistry going so they can have good chemistry and win games?
This NCAA rules kind of make it kind of hard for you to do a lot in preseason as far as basketball and trying to develop some team chemistry and things like that on the courts because they limit your time of basketball. But the little time we get, we try to use it wisely and try to get as much chemistry as we can out of it. A lot of times it's more conditioning than anything else because of the time. It's hard to stop and teach and do a bunch of teaching. But we got to make it work. We can't wait for October 15th.
So pretty much the same thing, piggybacking off of what he just said, and a lot of it come with community service too. We kind of, get them to do a lot of things together. So the more they spend time together, I know it's not like being on the basketball court, but it helps them to understand each other too as individuals.
Jay Bell, once again with HSRN. For the women, finished the CIAA tournament, walked away with the championship, went to play in the division, in the playoffs. Question is, what did you guys learn from that, and how are you going to carry that through this year?
Well, it was our second year going back to the NCAA. So, what we try to understand is, instead of that layoff that we have, a week and a half layoff, we have to try to find a way that we can continue to get our players to play through practice at the same intensity level that you're playing in the tournament, which is very hard. So sometimes it's more of a setback once we go there and trying to play. So we lose a lot of mental focus because kids just don't stay focused as long as they need to.
Coach, I know that you've won a championship before. How are you carrying that and moving forward to the north?
Just trying to get the young men to understand what it takes to be a champion, and it's not just a championship game that you win. You got to prepare yourself for that by working like a champion every day and practicing like a champion, and the mental part of it, just making sure you're confident and you're perceiving yourself as a champion. So we try to do a lot of things to prepare them for that and get them to understand that in order to be a champion, you got to be one every day.
Had a pretty good field goal percentage. Any improvements? Any things we need to look out for? Any special things that as broadcasters we can look for?
Yeah, we shot the ball fairly well last year. We got the ball inside a lot, but I think that this year our guard play will be a little better. Our wing play will be a little better. So we'll be a bit more well-rounded than we were last year. So we're looking forward to that.
Same with you?
Hey, we're just going to be more aggressive this year. I've got quite a few guards that are very quick. We're trying to get back to, what I did in the past, be more up-tempo, be more aggressive. So I feel like this year we're going to be that.
How are you doing that? What's the secret? What's the secret sauce?
It's not a secret sauce. It's just a matter of working hard. That's all.
Hi, my name is Kadita Kenner. I'm with Urban Sports and formerly Inside the Game. This question is for Coach Hill. I produced last year's TV game for the championship, and Tank, the singer, took a liking to your girls.
Live commercial too.
Side.
I don't do all that too.
What's the
I
thought
don't want to do
process
all the
behind
crazy
that,
stuff.
and how the girls feel, and has he stayed in contact?
Yeah, because if I'm gonna keep this light right here, that gives me a chance to see it, and I can be I don't have to move a lot on that. I can adjust it, so that's fine. I'm good. That works for me. Yeah, is this good for you? And then you can, yeah.
He told our girls, say, hey.
That's even better. This is even better, I think. Excuse me? How's that?
Let me get a t-shirt.
Is that too loud? I can bring myself down once the room fills up. CIAA basketball. CIAA. Okay, great.
That will conclude Virginia State session. Thank you. Shaw University. Oh, Virginia Union is supposed to be at 11:20, but it will probably be around 11:30. Or it might be 11. Oh yeah, so they'll be right after Shaw. Next up, we will have Shaw University, Coach Curtis, and Coach Hopkins. Coach Curtis, you always have a good season with the Shaw University women's basketball team. How are you going to make this season better than last season?
Better players. It's all about the players. You know, we got better players this year. You know, for us, it's all about winning. You know, you come to the roundup and people talking about community service, they talking about academics, they talking about it's basketball. You know, and that's what we're here to talk about. You know, so we're going to win because that's what we're about.
So how are you going to get your better players to play better basketball with chemistry on the court?
When you're playing for me, you're going to have chemistry or you won't be playing for me. You know, so it's kind of simple like that, you know. So I hear your question, but at the end of the day, you know, that's who Shaw is. You know, Shaw is the CIAA on the women's side.
Coach Hopkins, new first year this year, second year, third year, fourth year?
Just coming back to defend my title.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So coming back to defend your title, how are you going to do that? You have Larry Richardson and Cooper as your leading scorers, and they average about 20 some games. How are you going to get them to average that every game?
Well, we're not looking for them to average that every game. We brought in more players, additional firepower, and we'll be successful with what we have.
J. Bell with HSRN. Okay, as second time around, what are some of the tools that you're bringing to the table that you have learned, you know, from the first set? Now you're here on the second time around. What have you picked up? What tools have you learned, and what are we expecting from the men this year?
Well, the same thing happened when I was here last time before. You know, I was here 2 years. You won a divisional title. You won a CIAA championship. You go to a Final Four. And also you put a kid in the NBA. So, you know, already done, you know, hey, it's really, for me, there's nothing else left to approve. You know, we're going to do the same thing we did before.
And Coach Curtis, I know you have always had a great lineup. Is this going to be a up-tempo squad? Because I think last year I saw a couple of games where it was kind of a little slow. I'm not sure why. But is this going to be a little bit up-tempo or kind of same speed?
We're going to get up and down. You know, that's what we typically like to do. You know, I feel like we're going to dictate the pace, you know, in the CIAA. You know, we make people play the way we want them to play. You know, and that's why, you know, we've been successful, you know, over these last 10 years. You know, so we all about controlling tempo. If we're playing slower, that means that's because we want to play slower for that particular game. But we always going to dictate the style of play on the court.
Coach Hopkins, what kind of, once again, this is for those who don't know, what are we going to be an inside game? What are you guys looking like? Who can we expect, you know, shining star, you know, quiet shooting stars that we don't know? Who's at the table that we should be looking for and paying attention to?
You need to be paying attention to me. And if they don't know, they need to Google me. So we're going to win. And we come to win championships. And as far as, you know, that's why I'm here. That's why I was brought in to win. And win championships. You know, just winning the games is okay, but we need to win championships.
How are you going to do that?
How we going to? By beating everybody we play.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I guess I'm just trying to find out, are we going to be inside or you know?
Well, basketball is, you know, it's a compass of everything. You know, you got to have good guards, you got good guard play, you got to have good post play. But most important, you got to have great players. And so you put the great players there, and I'm there, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick off where we left off from 2002.
Yeah, because you got a lot of great players, because I've been in the gym watching them.
A whole bunch of them. We got one kid named David Madell. I think he'll be a first-round draft pick this year.
That's one of those guys we need to watch out for, right?
You might want him.
All right. Coach Curtis, anything we need to know about your squad? Any secrets that you care to share?
No, we really don't have secrets. We've never been about secrets. You know, we bring what we bring. Like I said, we have some kids this year that have that it factor, you know, and so when we step on the court, you know, our goal is to impose our will on everyone. You know, it's our job to know the talent level on other teams. There's some people out there that we really trying to put some big numbers up on. You know, our thing is if we can beat you by 50, we're going to beat you by 50. You know, a lot of people talk about, well, you know, you're running up the score. It's not about running up the score. You know, if my kid's out there trying to score, it's the other team or the other coach's job to stop my kids from scoring. You know, so that, to me, that doesn't have anything to do with sportsmanship. You know, when we step on that court, Jay, we trying to win, and we trying to win as big as we can win.
Speaking of big, 150 years. Challenge both of y'all. Score 150 points on somebody. Can you do it?
I got two people. I don't know about you, but I think I know I can hit 100 a couple of times. That 150 might test me a little bit. But see, when I score that 150 and people start talking when I'm running up the score, you put that out there for us to do it now. Because I'm going to try and get it for you.
I'm going to let the ball just bounce with it, man.
Coach being humble, yeah.
Coach Hopkins, you said that one of your players could be a first-round draft pick. How is that going to work, considering that it's kind of hard going to the NBA in D2 for the men's side?
Well, you say D2. I don't look at D2. I look at are you a pro or you're not. I've coached over 12 NBA players, 2 Olympians. So it doesn't matter you D2. Are you a player? If you're a player, that's why the Orlando Magic is at my gym right now looking at my players. So you got the Orlando Magic, you got the Oklahoma City Thunders there. So that's what it's about. I don't care about. It's not about the conference. It's not about the Division II. It's about the player. Can you play at the next level? That's what it's really about. So if you can play at the next level, they're gonna come see about you. So that's what it's about with me.
What matchup are you all both looking for this season?
I'm looking for anybody that step foot on that floor, they're going to be in trouble.
Coach Curtis.
How long you been around?
Well, I attend St. Augustine's University,
Oh,
so.
Lord.
This is my second year with CIAA intern.
I don't really look forward to matchups because everybody want a piece of me. You know, so that comes with the territory. You know, and I'm fine with that. But I want a piece of everybody too. So since you went to St. Aug, I'm gonna look forward to that matchup.
Okay, same here.
Maybe we can get that 150.
I don't know about all that, but we'll see how that goes.
Make sure you come to the game.
Oh, I'll be there.
All right, then I'm gonna be looking for you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'd like to throw a shout out. Jay Butler, what's up, man?
We were talking about, my name is Kadita Kenner. I'm with Urban Sports, also formerly with Inside the Game with Stan Luter. And speaking of turning players into NBA players, a college roommate of mine, brother Flip Murray, does he come back to the school, support the program?
Yes, he has, and he'll be back. He'll be back in December.
How does he support the program?
Just giving back to the kids, and he's always supported the program. You know, just being there, his presence has been there. He supported the program by, basically giving his time and playing for Shaw University. You know, so he's done a lot for us. We tend to look for him to work with us.
Any last questions? Thank you, coaches. That will conclude Shaw University's media session. Next up, we will have Virginia Union University, Coach Gilbert and Coach Butler. Coach Gilbert and Coach Butler, I see you all are new faces to Virginia Union University basketball program. How are you all going to bring the motivation and bring the energy for Virginia Union to have a good season?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say I'm really excited to be a part of the CIAA conference. I'm glad to be here at Virginia Union. One thing that really helps me to bring energy to our program is the fact that we're one of only 2 CIAA women's teams, I believe, that have won a national championship. So not only do we want to restore Panther pride, we want to be a force that competes on a yearly basis in the CIAA. So we're all about energy, enthusiasm, getting our girls hyped up every day. As was mentioned by previous coaches, we just we're going to take every game as a challenge. It's not just one matchup we're looking for, but each and every game we're going to be excited.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I'd just like to say I'm excited to be back. I played in Virginia Union from 92 to 96, and it was a great experience for me. Had the opportunity to win 3 CIAA championships, make 4 NCAA appearances. So just to bring back the history of the program, the tradition. This guy, Ben Wallace, a teammate of mine, he will be on my staff. We got Derek Johnson, a former All-American, Terry Davis, A.J. English. All those guys want to be a part of the program. So right now is an exciting time for Virginia Union basketball, the city of Richmond, just to bring the alum back and just get Virginia Union back to the top of the city.
Coach Gilbert, you lost a leading scorer last season, Ashley Freeman. Who will be your key leading scorer this season?
Well, we're not going to rely just on one player. We return a very strong front court headed by Lady Walker. She was a double-double scorer last year. We also have Jasmine Dancy, Taylor White to add to that group. And we brought in some other guards that I think will step right in and replace the scoring punch that we lost in Ashley Freeman. And not only that, these young ladies are making the people around them better. Ashley Freeman was a great guard, but she's someone that commanded the basketball while others stood around and sort of watched. Right now, we're building the theme of family. So we're really working together, building cohesiveness, and it's going to be a group effort.
J Bell, HSRN. For the women last year, I was just looking at some stats. Three-point shooting range was not exactly one of their best, strongest suits. How are you going to address that this year? Are we doing inside game, or just going to let her chuck it up?
Well, in terms of our three-point shooting, we've got great three-point shooters this year. We definitely are going to play inside-out basketball, but this is probably going to be one of the better three-point shooting teams I've ever coached at any level, anywhere. So we're going to shoot the long ball, but we really want to get more easy baskets than our opponents. And then when the inside game is taken away, we're going to rely on our outside game. And I think we have a strong shooting threat this year.
For the man, you mentioned your face looked familiar. I was over at Shaw back in the day, so I remember those beatdowns we took. What do you have to say what the man Shaw men had to say about trying to take everybody down this year? What are you going to bring to the table 20 some odd years later?
We're just going to take it one game at a time. When you finish 9 and 18, it's a process of building the program back up. But it all starts with Ray Anderson. He's been the face of the program for the last 2 years. He's a dynamic scorer, and we just look for him to take his game to the next level. And he knows it. He knows that he wants to be remembered as one of the great. We got to win championships. We build in day one, so we want to be playing on Saturday night at the time.
Why did you guys kind of come back together, all the folks that you mentioned? How did y'all bring this coaching talent together?
It was a situation where Virginia Union always been one of the top programs in the CIAA and in the country. So 6 years of not getting out of the first round, and you just wanted to get the pride back. And me being a former alum, had a lot of success at Virginia Union. Won 107 games out of 121. So not used to losing. So the alum is excited, the president excited about it. Athletic director Joe Taylor has done an amazing job of bringing the program back, and he wants to win. And our goal in the athletic department, we want to exceed expectations.
What are those expectations, by the way?
Every year for us, we want to continue our goal. We want to win 20-plus games, and at the end of the day, we want to be playing on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Last question. Coach Butler, you said that you've won a couple of championships as a student athlete at Virginia Union, and so you know what it takes. What are you going to teach your players now what it takes to win a CIAA championship?
It starts with the system. Coach Robin instilled in me as a player. It's an offensive system that it's an up-tempo style. We got to discipline half court. We're going to run our offense. And defensively, we're going to get after it. We're going to press full court, and we're going to sit back in our circle. And we're going to play solid defense. Make teams work for it. But that's the main thing. Coach Robin, he had a lot of success running that system. I had a lot of success over the 13 years at UDC running that exact same system. We won at UDC championships. We made it to the NCAA 4 times. So we're going to definitely stick with the blueprint.
Thank you, coaches. That will conclude Virginia Union's media session. Next up, we will have Winston-Salem State University Coach Hall and Coach Wilhelmy. Coaches, you all both have strong teams and you had a good season last season. How is your preseason going so far?
Well, I think we have a guys are working extremely hard. We have a lot of new faces in our program, 12 new players to be exact. And it's really a time where we're getting to know each other. We're challenging them every day. They've been meeting those challenges, and things are going well for us.
So talking about the new 12 players you have, one of them is Keith Armstrong that just transferred from ECU. How are you getting their chemistry together on and off the court so you can have a season like you did last year and win the CIAA championship?
Yeah, Keith is one of our older guys. He did already get a degree from East Carolina, and he has come in with the right mindset, and he's helping to lead the program. We're working with them with not just things on the court, teaching them a system, but we're teaching them about what is important to us. We talk to them a lot about humility, passion, unity, servanthood, and thankfulness. Those are the 5 pillars of our program, and we address those issues daily. And we're working to have them understand that what happens off the court translates to success on the court. And we're working on that chemistry every day.
Coach Hall, are you changing any tactics this season?
Well, I think after last season, the biggest change has come in how we evaluate in our recruiting process. I think from there, everything else will take care of itself. It's very important that you get people that are committed to being a part of a team and promoting the team concept, and then also attracting kids that have big dreams, kids that want to be great, even beyond basketball, but people that have a high expectation of themselves. And if we continue to bring those type of kids in moving forward, then the basketball results, the graduating, the community service, and all the things that are important to us at Winston-Salem State, those things will take care of themselves. So just making sure we add the right people to our program, that's been the biggest adjustment that we've made from last season.
Jay Bell with HSRN Radio. How is your sports information director assisting you guys in getting the information out?
We have the best sports information directors in the country. They do a tremendous job of, getting things updated on our website. And as you can see, our media guide is second to none. They do a marvelous job.
On a serious note, last year, you guys had a high-scoring team. You got 12 new guys, so I guess are we still going to be a high scoring for the men? Are we looking at a high scoring, or are we going to slow it down?
And we're going to try to put the ball in the basket as much as we possibly can, because that is the main objective. And nothing has changed. Our style of play, it's still shock and awe basketball all day long. And that's what we recruited them with. We feel like they can fit into that system. And we're looking to be one of the top scoring teams. However, more importantly, we need to get things done defensively. We were one of the top teams in turnover differential last year. And that's what created some easy offense for us. So.
For the women's side, it was a kind of a different story, low-scoring game, average around 58 points as we go into this new season. What can we expect?
Well, it'll still start with defense for us. I think sometimes if your mindset is to outscore people, then your defense is going to suffer. Obviously, we want to score more than 58 points a game, but we'll do that off of our defensive effort. If we can get stops and we can create turnovers, then I think that'll improve our offense. But we're not coming into the game with the mentality to try to run up and down the floor to outscore people. We do want to defend, and we'll build that way. In actuality, to piggyback off that's true for us as well. We're trying to create turnovers so then we can convert to easy offense. But we're never going in just saying, hey, we're going to just try to get 100 points tonight. That's not our deal. Our deal is we're going to defend, and if we do that, that's going to lead to points.
had a chance to talk to Coach Curtis of Shaw University. Shaw University will be celebrating 150 years. The challenge is for the women to score 150 points. Can they do it on Winston-Salem?
What's your question? We're concentrating on Winston-Salem State University, and you know, we'll play the schedule as it's mapped out, and when we get to that date, and we'll be ready to roll.
That's great.
You know, just like earlier, more important than you know their size is I think we have great character kids. We did want to get bigger. I think this will be our most consistent team in terms of getting inside production. We haven't really had that. We have decent size on the perimeter. We have a veteran point guard, so our DNA is pretty good right now. I think the size again. Going back to defense, I think the size will help us defensively, and then you know, like I said, the inside offensive production will be good for us. So, you know, we're just going to try to work hard, be the best we can be, and come out and compete every night.
Thank you, coaches. That will conclude Winston-Salem State University media session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we will have the Lincoln women's basketball coach, Coach Mosley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Coach Mosley, this is your first year at the Lincoln.
Yes, that's correct.
How are you preparing for your season as first year and as a new coach at the Lincoln University?
It's a huge transition right now. Pretty much started the year off with the men. Just took over the women's program 2 weeks ago, so pretty much just trying to whip them into some shape right now, and just pretty much build off of last year's season.
What key players are expected to be the leading scorers this season?
Courtney Smith returning, and Monty Clark, 2 guards that are seniors this year. A lot of season. Pretty much played major roles in last year's season, so pretty much I'm gonna ride them this year, pretty much, and try to get back to where they left off last year.
And how are you going to balance academics and what your players playing on the court at the same time?
Oh, definitely. We, get our practice in early and study hours in. If they need tutoring, pretty much set that up for them at our tutoring lab. Definitely can't afford to lose nobody this year academically, being as though I wasn't able to recruit this year. So I'm stressing that a lot. Make sure y'all go to class, be on time, no excuses.
I see one of your players, Amani Clark, is on the CIAA preseason team. Can you talk a little bit about her?
Tremendous athlete, has heart, wants to get better, comes to me every day looking for ways to improve on her jump shot, can get to the basket at will, get to the line. I think her only downfall is just a consistent jump shot, and that's what we're working on right now every day.
And is there any team you are looking forward to match up this season?
Pretty much, I think, everybody's out to get us, I got a lot of girls returning. They made it to the championship game last year, so I think the target is on us, coming in. And I got to prepare my girls to know that everybody's out to get us. We just got to try to be prepared for every game. Every game is going to be a challenge this year.
What are you like? What are you seeing from the team so far in practice that you like, and what players have stepped up from last year?
Definitely, the 2 guards are showing a lot of leadership. They came in prepared, in shape. They pretty much they started workouts on their own. With me just being hired 2 weeks ago, they had no coach up there, directing them. They stepped up as captains, leaders, and pretty much put the girls through workouts, conditioning. I'm still pretty fresh, so I'm still looking for who's going to be able to step up this year in certain positions, especially at the post, we're a little banged up right now due to injuries. That 3-4 position, I'm just looking to see who's going to step up.
What is your role in disciplining your girls on the court and off the court?
Pretty much is one for all. One person make a mistake, everybody has to suffer. Team together. Discipline is everything. You got to be on time. I let them know if I say a time, you should be there half an hour early. And if one person messes up, everybody suffer, everybody run.
Thank you, Coach Mosley. Is there any more questions? That will conclude the Lincoln University media session. Thank you.
Thank you.